A beautiful afternoon to you this afternoon. We'll be looking at your week 4 work on basic technology this afternoon. On the topic, Metalwork, measuring or marking out tools and measuring tools. Metalwork, marking out tools and measuring tools. That is metalwork, marking out, and measuring tools. There are two tools we'll be looking at this afternoon. In our usual manner or way, we always go through or look at the objectives for the lesson, what we intend to achieve at the end of the lesson. So we need also to do that, looking at the objectives for the lesson for today. That is, at the end of this lesson, students should be able to identify, list, and state the uses of metalwork measuring tools. The word identify means when you see, you should be able to know that this is this particular tool. Then list, you should be able to say this one belongs, these two belong to marking out and measuring or holding aspect. Then lastly, number 3, you should be able to identify, list, and state the uses of metalwork marking out tools and holding devices. I come again, first one, you should be able to identify, list, and state the uses of metalwork measuring tools. That is for measurement. Then 2, you should be able to identify, list, and state the uses of metalwork marking out tools and holding devices. These marking out tools are different from holding devices. There are 2 things we need to look at there. What are marking out tools? Marking out tools are used to mark or make marks on metals. In our previous work for the term, we have talked about woodwork, measuring, driving tools, cutting tools. Precisely last week, we dealt with or treated the driving and impelling tools, talking about the hammer, the claw hammer, the claw bar, and so many others, talking about the screwdrivers. Then today we are going to look at these tools. The way we mark on, like we treated measuring tools on, for example, we talked about the steel rule on woodwork. We also have some of these tools that relates to metal work, metal job. They are used to make marks on metal. They are, 1, the tri-square. The tri-square is used to measure right angle or mark out right angle. If you have seen a frame of door, it has a vertical bar, 2, then 1 horizontal bar at the top. The angle between this vertical bar and the horizontal, that is where they meet. This one coming like this, and then this one going. That angle they meet is 90 degrees. That is called, you know what right angle is, all right. Then we have the odd leg calipers. I've once seen a student who called it old leg. It is not old, odd, O-D-D, not O-L-D, odd leg caliper. They are used to mark lines, like the center line and so many others. Then we have the punch, or punches, that's the plural. They are used to make dots that are marked, or those marks on line drawn. They are used to make dots on already lines that are drawn by scriber or divider. That is, if you draw a line on a particular metal, then use the punch to make a dot there. Probably you want that place to be the end of your measurement after you measured. That is what the punch or punches are used for. Then we have the surface plate and surface table. From the name, plate and table, they are both used as surfaces for marking out. You just put the work you want to do there. If you are using punch to mark out, you put them on the plate. That is what they are used for. The surface plate is for smaller work, while the surface table is for larger or bigger work. Then the trammel is used to mark out wide circles and arcs. We will have the compass. The compass is also used to draw or divider, used to mark arc. But these places where the dividers cannot mark out, that are too large, you use the trammel. It has two bars. We will see them very soon, these things I am talking about. Then we have the protractor. Protractor is what you have been seeing. Last time from almost throughout the time, we're dealing with our drawing instruments. You were always coming with the school or coming to school with your math set, and there's always protractor there. We've even done how to construct inclined angle. Then we measured. You remember, after constructing, you put the protractor to measure. The protractor is used to mark off angles on metalwork base. This one now is different from the one you have done. After constructing angle 30, you now put the protractor to look whether you have gotten it. But this time, you put the protractor there, you just mark a dot, probably with a punch, then you use the scriber divider to make the line. That is this angle, this is where you want this social angle. Could be 90, could be 40, could be any of the angle. Then divider is used for transfer of dimension. We have talked about drawing instruments. The same way the divider sat there. That is, you put it probably 0 to 4, then you transfer it to the particular place you want. You scribe it there on that metal. You have gotten that measurement. Instead of coming to the 1, 2, 3, 4, you just put it from the steel rule, then you transfer it on the metal. You just use it to scribe it. These are the marking out tools we need to look at. Then let us see them here. You can see the surface table here. I say this is surface table. This is a steel rule. Those of you who have seen Mr. Wambara early in the morning in school, you always see this thing with him. Some of you have it, use it to play. It is ruler, but it is made of steel. It is called steel rule. It is for marking out. This is divider, this is scriber, this is a tri-square. The tri-square has an angle of 30 degrees here. You are seeing here. It is calibrated. That is, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as case may be. This is the angle. You can use it for measurement and to mark out the dimension or the length. You can, just like the steel rule, but you can, this place is meant for angle marking out, to mark out angle of 90 degrees. This is the odd leg caliper. From the way the leg look, as if the person is having a, should I call it stroke in your basic science? I don't know what you call it there. The one leg is, that's why it is called odd leg caliper. Then look at the trammel. You can see that this one can be adjusted, move further. This one can move further. Where this one cannot go, where they stop, just like your divider in your mass set, it has a limit. Where it cannot go, this one can go a further length. This is the punch. Just the dot punch, center punch, and the case may be. These are the punches we're talking about. It is used to mark something like this, or to mark this. You see where these lines are being marked there. Could be with the scriber. These are how, these are the way. Then this is angle plate. Plate is different from table. You see that this one is smaller than this one too. That's why I said this one is used for larger, this surface plate and this surface table. You can see this one is used for smaller work, while this is used for larger or bigger work. These are the marking out tools. We now need to look at the measuring tools. From the word measurement, metalwork, this time not woodwork, metalwork measuring tools and gauges. They are used to measure, just like we know. We have them, one more one, meter rule. We have discussed what they are used for in our woodwork. Then we have the meter rule. It's used for marking straight, making straight measurement. I've just talked about we have talked about the meter rule in our woodwork too. It is just a ruler used to mark. Then we have the protractor. We have talked about the protractor to determine various angles, what to measure, like you have done in your drawing instruments and construction. This angle, you want to know, determine whether that angle is a particular angle. Like you've marked out with the tri-square. If you have used the tri-square to mark out 90, you are not sure that this angle is 90, then you cannot use the protractor to determine that. Calipers are used for measuring diameters. We have 3 types of calipers: the inside calipers, the outside calipers, and the odd leg calipers. Then the vernier calipers, they are used to measure diameter of a sphere. Sphere is what you call is a round something. We look at these ones just like we have seen, just as we have seen the marking out tools. It has the two scale called the main scale and the vernier scale where you have recording. Then another one is the micrometer screw gauge. That's why we see that word measuring tools and gauges. Micrometer screw gauge for measuring accurately small thickness, like the thickness of a piece of paper. If you take up a piece of paper, it has the length, the breadth, and the depth. You will not understand that, or the height of that. That particular place you just hold like this, or thickness, let me call it thickness. The length, the breadth, and then the thickness. It has a thickness. That thickness has a measurement. It could be 0.00. That as small as that thickness of one piece of paper is, the micrometer screw gauge will be able to give you that thickness. Like piece of paper, it has the parts like the barrel, the speedo, and the thimble. These ones are the parts of the micrometer screw gauge. Then we have the depth gauge for measuring depth of hole and any deep object. That's what you call depth gauge. Then we have the filler gauge. It's used to check minor gaps, to fill the word filler, to see if you have put something like this, whether the gap is filled, to just check whether that little gap is needed. That's why it's called. The others are spirit level and so many you can name. We need to look at these measuring tools and gauges, just as we have seen in the terms of the marking out tools. This is the engineering measuring tape. This is for building. You have seen this one with me. This is for building. This is the depth gauge to know whether this particular place is, the hole is deep or how deep it is. They have calibration. You can see here, the readings are taken in these calibrations. Then this is spirit level we have talked about. That looks like portfolio. They are for measurement. This is the filler gauge. You are seeing here. Then this engineering protractor. You will know this one very well. I don't want to talk much about this, but you know this protractor. All of you have it because you were told to buy drawing instruments last time, and you all bought it and we made use of them. So nobody in your class will tell me does not have this, except you have misplaced it. I misplaced that. This is surface table too that we are saying there. You put something there when you want to mark. You can put it there. Then when you are measuring too, it's also sharp. You put it on top. That's why this is the depth gauge for deep. This is a micrometer screw gauge we are talking about that is used to measure even thickness of piece of paper. Then this is vernier caliper. Lastly, we have the meter rule. This one or steel rule. This one is made of steel. You are seeing here. Could be called ruler, made of wood, but they are used for measurement. Then we need to look at the holding devices. The holding devices are used to hold. They include the bench vise, just like we talked about in the other. We talked about driving, impelling, and holding devices in your woodwork. In your metalwork too, we also use them to hold. That is, hold the particular object. For example, you have a little metal you want to cut. You put it, it could be the hand vise, you could put it here. You screw this place, you fix it, then you cut. It could be the bench vise to fix it to the bench. If the metal is heavy, that your hand may not be able to hold it for a long time. Then the machine vise and the plier can be used to hold little metal while you are working on it. These are the holding devices we have. Then we'll have a recap or need to look at what we have said from the beginning. We said the marking out are used to make marks on metals. Then we talked about the bunch, the scriber. We talked about the divider, or leg caliper, not old, and so many others. When we talk about the measuring tools used in metalwork, this time not woodwork. We talked about the steel or measuring tape, engineering measuring tape, the meter rule, the ones you are familiar with. We talked about the protractor. We talked about the micrometer, screw gauge, and vernier calipers, and so on. Even the depth gauge for measuring the depth of hole, and so many others. And we talked about what they are used for individually. Then we also looked at some of the holding devices, just like in woodwork, we have the bench vise, the hand vise, the machine vise, and then the plier that you use to hold this particular metal while you are working on them, depending on the weight or the kind of work you want to do. Stay safe. We'll meet again for your next work. God bless you for your next week work.